Up, Beachbody coaches? Happy Friday. My name is Lauren Fitzgerald, but people know me as Dr. Lauren Fitz. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm really passionate about. And while, yes, I am a medical doctor, I actually no longer practice medicine, but my experience as a medical doctor is going to be where I come to you teaching you about Shakeology. So it starts off with a story, as all good Beachbody coaches know you should do. It starts off with the story of me at 32 years old in 2012. I had just gotten back from Misawa, Japan, where I practiced medicine. I was an anesthesiologist, but I practiced for the government because I was living on a military base, right? So living on a military base as a physician, I didn't get attacked by drug reps or salespeople, if you will, right? So I had practiced the first 3 years after residency in Japan, and I got back to the United States and I practiced medicine in Oklahoma City. And that was the first time that I got exposed to sales reps, right? The evil word. But the fact is that there are so many of you coaches that the whole idea of sounding salesy is what holds you back. But I hope that this story sticks with you, because one of the sales reps, one of the drug reps that came to me, I literally, I had the same mindset that a lot of people have with us when we first start talking to them about coaching or letting us coach them in a challenge group, right? We oftentimes get the, just the same phenomenon that you would get like going into any retail store, and you can tell they're ready to attack you, right? So this drug rep was coming in to sell me on why I should use IV Tylenol. And I'm like, whatever, you just want to make money. Tylenol's been around forever, generic, whatever. But the confidence that this drug rep came in with, and her facts, and knowing all of the reasons why my patients would benefit from me giving them an intraoperative dose of IV Tylenol, basically got me like, huh. So guess what? I used IV Tylenol on almost all of my patients. And guess what? When I had surgery of my own on my ACL and meniscus 3 years later, I requested for it. But guess what? If I would have never been open-minded to hearing what she had to say, I would have missed out on that personally, and a lot of my patients would have. But the reason why I was open-minded to it is because of the confidence that she had in her product. And this is where I want to talk about this. Now, the fact is that there are a lot of products that we have that are amazing. And I think that you should take this and apply it to all of the products that we have. And remember, a good Beachbody coach doesn't mean you have to love all of the products, but you should know all of your products and who will benefit from them and who will not. And this particular product, there are very few people that I believe would not benefit from it. And so when you go into coaching, I want you to go into it like a drug rep, because that drug, everything about her drug, and the reason that she had the confidence was because she spent time getting to know her product. And this is where I see so many of my own coaches and coaches throughout the network completely missing the boat. And you know, I'm gonna do a shout out to some of my favorite personal super trainers like Shaun T. Love, love, love our super trainers, and the exercise programs that they bring to the table are bomb. But the fact is that if you really want to help change a person's life, you have got to help them change their nutrition. Bottom line. I've always said that exercise, unfortunately, is like 10 to 15% of the equation. And if we can teach them how to change their nutrition and supplement with products like Shakeology for the stuff that they're missing, despite changing their nutrition and having good whole foods, organic, non-GMO, all of the buzzwords that we know, right? Despite those changes, they still are missing out on a lot of stuff. But if you don't know, you don't know, right? But it's so easy to look at this bag and be like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. I know it's 70 plus superfood ingredients, right? But it gets overwhelming and you're like, screw it. I'll just say it's my superfood smoothie. Okay, that's a great place to start, but guess what? If that drug rep would have been like, well, it's Tylenol. You know, people use it for pain all the time, and that's all she said, I would have been like, all right, next. And that's what so many people are doing to you because you don't know your products, okay? So obviously, take this and learn about all of your products, but start with learning this. And so when I was in medical school, I used to love learning things by acronyms, right? And so the acronym that I originally came up with, and I've done this team call for a lot of people, is PAGAP, because it's a palindrome. Actually, it's the same spelled forward and backwards, right? PAGAP. But my partner in crime, she was like, I think you should totally change it to Papa G, because that just sounds cooler. So whether you want to write down Papa G or PAGAP, I don't care. But these 5 letters are going to help organize your thoughts around learning this product that truly can be the game changer in so many people's lives, okay? So let's start with the first P. We're just gonna do Papa G. We're not gonna do PAGAP, we're gonna do Papa G, okay? So the first P is the protein. And of course, I know that I am not alone by hearing, I already have a protein shake, right? Okay, so if you have knowledge of why this is so much more than a protein shake, and literally you know what they're coming back with, so you have automatic responses, that comes across as confident, and the fact that you have base in speaking what you are about to say, right? So protein, the moment that someone tells me that, I will automatically say, are you protein deficient? Because last time I checked, very few people, especially in the United States, and obviously there are people in Canada and the UK right now as well, but I'm guessing that it's the same in Canada and the UK. Not too many people that are truly protein deficient walking around, okay? Maybe if we can go to Africa or third world countries in South America, absolutely. But protein deficiency is actually not what people are missing. And in fact, and this is a kicker, write this down, make sure you write this down. If you come back to them with, actually, most people are consuming too much protein, and the body is super smart. The body keeps the protein that it needs to do all of the stuff that protein needs to do in our body, and the excess protein, it turns into a molecule in which it can save for later. And guess what happens? That extra protein ends up being stored as fat. Glycogen, right there, like you guys. That being said, that will speak to so many people like, oh, and I will always let them know, like, you know, food companies know that high in protein or 20 grams of protein or whatever gets people to be like, oh, that must be healthy, I need to buy it. But in fact, people are eating way more protein than they actually need. So right there, when I have that conversation, I automatically establish some trust, like, I have authority in what I'm saying. And of course, I know some of you are like, well, yeah, well, they're gonna say that because you're a doctor. No, it has everything to do with confidence. There have been plenty of doctors that have tried Beachbody coaching that have failed because they don't have the confidence in how amazing our products are, okay? So protein. Now, for you to understand the difference in the protein between the whey, the vegan, the plant-based one versus the non-plant-based one, I don't think you need to know all of the individual sources of protein, but it would be good. It can't hurt. But I definitely think you need to understand the major differences between the plant-based versus the non-plant-based. And that's when I always talk about whey protein isolate. And a lot of people don't realize that whey protein isolate, while out of the different forms of whey, that's the one has the less GI stress, and that's why Beachbody chose that particular form of whey, which is good to know. But a lot of people don't realize that dairy doesn't do well in their system. And I will tell you, I've been in the fitness industry for years. I started teaching fitness classes when I was 16. I teach my own dance fitness format. I've always been into health and fitness, and I've always had that protein shake. And I'm just gonna be real TMI, honest with you. I just thought the gas was just normal. And I didn't realize that the whey protein isolate was what was causing the gas. And so for me, this is the way I choose to do my Beachbody, independent Beachbody coaching business. When I start to work with people, I actually prefer for them to go with the plant-based, and I explain the why. Now, of course, that's the P in Papa G or PAGAP, whatever you want to do. But the fact is that already you are speaking to the person because all of a sudden, all of their thoughts of what they need have started to be questioned. So you have their attention, okay? So let's move on. So the next A is adaptogens, okay? I love this category. This is not something that I learned at all in medical school. It was something that I learned post-medical school, post-residency, when I realized that, oh my goodness, all of these things, ways to heal the body naturally, were not taught to us in conventional medical school. And so I always say I'm kind of an Eastern medicine-minded Western medicine doctor, because I truly believe that if a person wants to reverse diseases or make them better, most people have the ability to by changing their life, by changing their lifestyle, by starting with changing their nutrition and other things. That's what we do, guys. We do more than just, here's your fitness program and here's Shakeology, right? That's just where it starts. Now, adaptogens, when I first read about adaptogens, I was like, wait. So you're telling me that these plants have chemical properties that help them overcome and adapt to stress. So the example I always use is the plants that grow at on the mountain, the tree line. That's the word I was looking for. The tree line. The plants that grow above that have special chemical properties in the plant, like it's plant-based. Like these plants have these properties, and when we consume them, not only do the plants have these properties that help them overcome and adapt to the stress of living in stressful environments, but they give us the ability to as well. And so I personally, before I even knew what Shakeology was and what Beachbody was about, I literally, every time I learned about a different adaptogen, I'm like, oh, I need that. Like, for example, my favorite one, just because I love the way the way it sounds, is ashwagandha. So I probably should throw away my supplements because I don't take them anymore, because I realized that Shakeology had pretty much almost all of the adaptogens I was already taking, but I was taking them separately, right? So if you understand that this is more than just a protein shake, and you understand all of the reasons why, I believe the vegan one, let's see, it has 8 different adaptogens. And most of them I was taking before I even knew what Shakeology was, okay? So we have protein, we have adaptogens, okay? Now, the next P is phytonutrients. Now, I'm gonna give you some ammunition, okay? Because, we always have people that come to us and like, well, I already do this, or I already do that. And I'm all about, I don't throw shade on other companies. I just give people information, and that lets them go and look at the back of the thing and like, oh, for example, so many of our competing products have sucralose in it. And that's not part of my Shakeology talk, but sucralose is a terrible artificial sweetener that is in most of our competitors' products. And so instead of throwing shade on Herbalife and saying, do you realize that all of those products have sucralose and other artificial ingredients? I just give them information so that they can start to look at the ingredients on their own. So those of you, I have a lot of Beachbody coaches that follow me because Sean T shared me with his following. But on Wednesdays, I take people shopping on my Instagram stories and teaching them about ingredients. Am I saying only drink Shakeology? Absolutely not. But I talk about Shakeology, and I talk about how important it is for ingredients that go in your body. And if you understand why you shouldn't have sucralose and you should go with a sweetener like stevia, which comes from a freaking plant, a leaf that is natural, then, all of a sudden their protein powder doesn't look quite as appealing, because now they know that the sucralose messes with their gut biome and leads to potential things like autoimmune disorders and cancers and all these kind of things that sucralose has been shown to lead to. So I'm not throwing shade, I'm just giving them information. And this is why you have to know your product, okay? So phytonutrients, this is one thing. What's the vitamin company? Vitamin Plus no, Juice Plus. I get those people all the time. And they always love to say, and they stop coming back to me when they realize that I've done my research not only on my products, but on theirs. They always like to come back and say, well, we have medical literature that supports our products. And so I actually one day took a look, and all of the medical literature just supports that plants, eating fruits and vegetables that are full of phytonutrients, have been shown to be beneficial to the body. Well, duh. Hey, guess what, Juice Plus person? Totally agree with you. And my product has that and way more other superfood products. And all of a sudden, like, I literally, one of my coaches left Juice Plus because they were like, oh, I had no idea. Anyway, that being said, so we have Papa G or Pagap. P, protein. A, adaptogens. P, phytonutrients. The next, we'll go with A. The next one is, we've done adaptogens. What am I missing? Oh, antioxidants. Antioxidants and superfruits. So most people know this word, right? It's a buzzword. It's a word that food industries know that they can put on the front that people will buy thinking that it's good for them, right? So antioxidants, the whole thing that you need to understand is these superfoods that are full of antioxidants. These are properties that come from these plants that go in and capture free radicals. So when the body has damage, or when the body gets exposed to toxins or whatever, free radicals are formed. Free radicals are not good, okay? When oxidation occurs, so like for example, if you use an oil and you heat it above its smoke point, all of a sudden that oil, a lot of oils shouldn't be used at all. I'm not gonna get on that bandwagon right now. Follow me on Instagram and I'll teach you there. But the fact is that once it gets past the smoke point, oxidation starts to happen. And when you consume that food that has free radicals, it causes damage in our bodies. And so the benefit of having superfoods that have antioxidant properties is huge. And here's the deal. I know I just had one of my newer coaches ask me today on my Instagram that they had someone ask about the amount of sugar in Shakeology, and are you not concerned about the organic cane sugar? So knowing the range of total carbohydrates, knowing that you subtract the amount of fiber. So for instance, this one I believe has 18 grams of carbohydrates. And of course, I'm telling you this because so many people are doing keto, which don't get me started. But I have people that if they want to stay in ketosis, they actually can stay in ketosis and have Shakeology. But knowing, so this particular one, Cafe Latte, has 18 grams of carbohydrates, minus 5 grams of fiber, which we all need more fiber, and digestive health. Hello, that's another amazing product from the Shakeology line that you need to understand, like, can benefit a lot of people. So now you have 13 total grams of carbohydrates, and only 8 of those come from sugar. And guess what? A lot of those sugars come from these super fruits. And of course the proprietary blend of how much exact organic cane sugar is in a serving they keep that away from the public so that people don't go and try and duplicate our official recipe, right? And this was actually what Isabel Deichler told me specifically. And you guys, I have a podcast. It's called the Fitz and Healthy Podcast. I don't make any money from it. Most of the episodes I do are to help people become healthier and happier. And I interviewed both Darren Oline and Isabel Deichler, and those are episodes that you should 100% listen to because they will help you learn this product specifically down to the place that you're like that drug rep that speaks with confidence, okay? But antioxidants from the superfruits are super important, and this is what I see people do wrong with keto all the time. They just think, oh, it's just about having low carbs and high fat, but they're missing out on so many nutrients. And guess what? That's not sustainable. Our body was meant to have macro and micronutrients, and this is where this fills in all of the gaps. Yes, okay? So we have protein, we have adaptogens, we're doing Papa G. We have phytonutrients, and we have antioxidants / superfruits, right? The last one is one of the key things that I think you need to understand the most, because the more we are learning about your gut health, the more we realize that it's probably the number one thing that we need to start paying attention to, like legit. And guess what? Collagen is one of those things that helps repair gut health. But anyway, so the G of Papa G or Pagap is gut health. And that helps you think of the 3 major factors that play into gut health. So the first one is prebiotics. Now, do you necessarily need to know that yacon root is one of the prebiotics? No, but guess what? If you know exactly which ones are, it just makes you look that much smarter and gives you that much more confidence, right? So I don't think it's bad that once you have learned these basic principles to go back and be like, okay, so yacon root, chicory root, prebiotics. Bacillus coagulans, probiotic. This is where knowledge is potential power, okay? So prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. So that's all under gut, okay? Gut health, you think prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes, okay? Now, one thing that I think that most of you don't know about our probiotic is that it is expensive. This particular strand is one of the only strands that has a protective encapsulated capsule or outer membrane that helps it survive through our esophagus, through our stomach, and into the small intestine where we need probiotics to work, okay? So a lot of probiotic companies are basically putting in cheap probiotics that don't survive the stomach because the stomach is full of acid and it breaks all those down and they're dead before they get to the place that they need to be. But guess what? Our company that we are super proud to partner with didn't cut corners. And Bacillus coagulans is one of the only probiotics that doesn't get broken down by stomach enzymes. It's expensive, and this is why most companies don't use it in there. So that's huge right there, right? Now, the digestive enzymes, I believe there's like 5 or 6 different enzymes. You don't need to know all of them. Any word that ends with ACE, learn this like first year in medical school, that means an enzyme. That means a protein that cuts and separates, breaks things down, okay? Digestive enzymes break things down. Do you necessarily, like coagulase, I believe is one of them, amylase, cellulase, do you need to know all of the ACEs? Absolutely not. I mean, if you do, that's cool and it wouldn't hurt, but I guarantee that no one cares that you can chime off 6 or 7 digestive enzymes, but they definitely will care when you come back with, well, I've tried Shakeology and it upset my stomach. Oh, this is great. Because the reaction that I have is, you know what? My experience is when I'm working with someone, most people come from a standard American diet. And that standard American diet does not support healthy gut microbiome. And so when I explain the gut microbiome, I paint a picture of the good guys versus the bad guys. And the standard American diet supports all of these bad guys that basically crowd out the good guys. And so much of reversing health problems has to do with getting these guys in tame and getting more good guys, right? And so when I let them know, hey, this is why Beachbody gives us a 30-day money-back guarantee, because the fact is that I'm gonna help you change your nutrition, and we're gonna add Shakeology every day, and if we need to start with half a scoop a day for a week or so, that's cool. But I want you to start repairing your gut by changing what you eat and adding Shakeology that has all of these prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes, which will ultimately benefit you greatly. And then all of a sudden they're like, what? Okay. So do you understand? I'm speaking with confidence, and the same thing goes for the drug rep that was trying to sell me on using IV Tylenol in my patients. She spoke with confidence because she knew her product. She knew all of the reasons why it would be beneficial for my patients. She knew all of the things that I was going to come back with and ask. And guess what? I used IV Tylenol on almost every patient, including when I was a patient myself. I asked for it, all because this drug rep was confident in her knowledge. And let me tell you guys, as much as I love the fitness programs from Beachbody, you're not going to change people's lives forever if you don't teach them how to change their nutrition. I'm going to repeat this again. You will not change their lives forever if you don't teach them how to change their nutrition. It is 85, if not 90% of it. And while I love having new workout programs from Beachbody quarterly or however many times a year they come out, the fact is that if a person does every single Beachbody program but doesn't change what they put in their body, their health will not change. And I notice I didn't say weight. I could care less about weight. What we have is the ability to give people their health back. And you have to take ownership of it. And you have to remember that this doesn't happen overnight. And I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm supposed to only speak 20 to 30 minutes. And those of you that follow me closely know that I can be talking McTalkerson. But I wanna wrap this up by reminding you, this business is unlike any other business. I'm wearing Unique mascara right now. I actually love their mascara. I tried natural products and they flaked in my contacts, so I'm not going natural on this product. The bottom line, after that girl sold me the mascara, have I heard from her again? No. The stretchy pants, do I hear? I mean, I don't order from the stretchy pant, but like the fact is that our company that's a direct sales MLM is different than any other one, because for us to be good at it, we have to have relationships. We have to have connection with people. And we're not in the business of giving people a quick fix. So guess what? That takes time. It takes delayed gratification. It takes you realizing that getting people to care about their health is not easy. It isn't easy. In fact, I just spoke with the leaders on Team Made today, and we were all talking about how frustrating it is to get people to show up for themselves. And I want you to know that our job is so much more than just introducing them to Morning Meltdown 100 and a bag of Shakeology. That is where it begins. But you cannot change their lives forever unless you give them the tools to change everything. Take that to heart. Take ownership of the fact that you have to know your products, like that drug rep that sold me IV Tylenol. And start with Shakeology and then go beyond. The boost, I love all the boost. I love all of the boost. I love the Ultimate Reset. I'm not a fan of other products in Beachbody. I'll just be honest. But that doesn't mean that if I don't eat them, they might not be best suited for someone else. But I know my products, and I know the ones that might benefit someone else. And there's very few people that I believe don't benefit from Shakeology. Unless you have a legit allergy to one of the ingredients, I believe everyone should be on it. And I'm gonna wrap it up with one more fun fact, and you gotta use this one because this one's good. Out of all of the meal replacement supplements, this bad boy is the only one that doesn't have the 20% VAT tax in the UK. So why do you care about this? Let me tell you. The VAT tax is applied to all things that are artificial, that are not whole foods. So they don't put the VAT tax on apples, on avocado, on broccoli, whole foods. And after the UK did their testing, they realized that all 70 plus ingredients in this little bag are whole foods. And so anytime that you have someone, I like real food. Oh, me too. I love real food. I'm so glad I don't have to take pills to get the extra nutrition that I used to get just from taking supplements. I get it from a freaking scoop of chocolatey or cafe latte goodness, and now pumpkin spice. Can I get an amen? So that being said, definitely I've got the two podcasts. If you just go to your podcast app and search Fitz and Healthy, Darren O'Lean, you'll find that interview. It's about an hour and a half. It's really good though. And then go to your podcast app and search Fitz and Healthy, Isabel Deichler. And both of those interviews will give you so many tools to help you be more confident about talking about Shakeology. And then I just challenge you to take your knowledge about Shakeology and apply it to the next product that you are a fan of, and get to know all of your products, because like I said, while the exercise programs are awesome, you are really gonna change people's lives by teaching them how to fuel their body with real food. So thank you guys so much. Let's see, I will make sure and go back and answer these questions. But I appreciate you guys watching live, and have a happy weekend. Happy Friday. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.